But I'm always gonna vote country over party. I'm always gonna vote for paying for the military over my party and those things, because I think that's what's appropriate right now. But I can control my vote and my voice, and that's exactly where I am. And I'm gonna call balls and strikes. And it's an easy choice to pick my country over the party. Carving it out the filibuster now would make it almost impossible to shut our government down.
A Democrat just went America first, and it's blowing up Schumer's entire shutdown narrative. Senator John Fetterman broke ranks and sided with Republicans to pay America's soldiers, while his own party tried to block it. In a stunning twist, the man once hailed as a progressive hero declared, "It's an easy choice to pick my country over my party." And that one line sent shockwaves through Schumer's empire.
The headline in the New York Times was Democrats block federal worker pay bill as shutdown drags on. The vote to pay military and essential workers broke down like this: 54 yes, 45 no. Just 3 Democrats joined Republicans in voting to pay furloughed workers.
It hit like a political thunderclap. The New York Times headline screamed, "Democrats block federal worker pay bill as shutdown drags on." Think about that. Washington's drowning in chaos. Soldiers aren't getting paid. And instead of fixing it, Schumer's crew decides to flex. And right when the cameras were rolling, one man broke formation. John freaking Fetterman.
And Senator John Fetterman was quick to point out, "I'm a Democrat. I voted yes." Senator Fetterman has been one of the clearest voices in calling for an end to the shutdown, analogizing the situation to Groundhog Day.
The vote wasn't even close. 54-45. Only 3 Democrats had the guts to cross the aisle, and Fetterman was front and center. No whispers, no excuses. He walked straight into the storm and said it plainly. "I'm a Democrat. I voted yes." That's not party discipline. That's political heresy. The moment those words hit the air, the entire shutdown narrative cracked in half.
Vote after vote, it's just been 3 Democrats time and again who voted for this bill. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day, and I'm just saying, and it's not entertaining. That's a great movie, but this is
Because let's be real, nobody expected him to be the one to do it. The hoodie-wearing, blue-collar Democrat who once rallied the left just looked his own side dead in the eye and said, "Enough." No spin, no slogans, just raw conviction. While Schumer's team was busy counting political points, Fetterman was counting paychecks, the ones real Americans want getting.
it's an easy choice to pick my country over the party, especially in circumstances like this.
That line, "It's an easy choice to pick my country over my party," wasn't just rebellion, it was an explosion. It tore through Schumer's empire like a grenade made of truth. He didn't sound like a politician, he sounded like a citizen who'd had it. And suddenly, the room full of talking points turned silent.
To pay military, to pay furloughed workers, and you were just one of 3 Democrats saying, "Let's pay these essential workers."
I'm not.
Fetterman didn't defect for drama. He defected because the whole charade stank. Congress was playing shutdown chess while the country bled, and he wasn't having it. One man, one vote, and the entire machine froze. Schumer thought he had control. Fetterman reminded him, control only lasts until someone decides to tell the truth.
And now for me, I don't check. It's like, are we winning? Are we losing? And the thing, it's like, because I guarantee America is losing in this place right now.
Fetterman didn't mince words. He looked straight into the camera and said what every frustrated American's been screaming at their TV for weeks. America is losing in this place right now, and you could feel it. No spin, no buzzwords. Just a gut punch of truth that hit harder than anything coming out of Schumer's press conferences.
Just do that, do the other thing. Let's just open it up, and then we have our snap. We have everyone's paid, and then we can have that conversation to see if we can extend those tax credit deals, because I do believe there are enough Republicans that would like to see that too.
While the rest of the Senate was locked in a game of political chicken, Fetterman sounded like a man watching his own house burn down. He wasn't talking about strategy or optics. He was talking about the 2 million Pennsylvanians who rely on SNAP to eat, and the 40 million Americans across the country facing the same. He brought up the military families wondering if paychecks would clear. He mentioned rising premiums and frozen benefits. The kind of things that make DC debates look like a sick joke.
That a lot of the premiums are going to go up, and we might want to address that too. We can support those two things.
He wasn't angry at Republicans or Democrats. He was angry at the system, this political addiction to hostage-taking that turns real people into bargaining chips. And that's what made his words sting. Because when he said, "I don't check whether we're winning or losing, because America is losing," he wasn't talking about ideology. He was talking about leadership, or the total lack of it. Fetterman's message was simple. Reopen the damn government. Stop playing chicken with working families' lives. Then sit down and argue policy like adults. That's the part that Schumer's camp couldn't handle, because it exposed the dirty secret both sides know. No one in that chamber wants to blink first, even if the country suffers for it.
To shut our government down for those things. You know, the Republican side has their priorities. We have our priorities. You know, I think we have to agree that our government must be open.
At that moment, Fetterman didn't sound like a Democrat or a Republican. He sounded like the last honest man in a room full of actors, and that's why his words shook the whole building. Fetterman didn't just cross the aisle. He called out his own team. He said what everyone in Congress whispers but never admits on record. Too many Democrats are dug in and scared to lose face. The shutdown isn't about protecting workers anymore. It's about protecting pride.
I'm in a minority that I think it's wrong to shut our government down in this situation right now. And now, so for me, and there's things that I strongly believe in too on the Democratic side.
He compared it to Groundhog Day. The same vote, the same speeches, the same performative outrage. Only this time, real people are paying the price. Families can't buy groceries, paychecks are stalled, and the chamber still plays power games. Fetterman's frustration was raw and visible. He wasn't talking like a polished senator. He was talking like a man disgusted by the script everyone else keeps following. He didn't need to name Schumer. The target was obvious. When he said Democrats were waiting for an ironclad deal before doing the right thing, it was a direct hit at leadership. The very strategy that turned a budget fix into a hostage crisis. Fetterman's tone cut through the noise. Enough of the games. Open the government. Pay the people.
Things that I strongly believe in too on the Democratic side, but I'm always gonna vote country over party.
In a room built on loyalty tests and sound bites, he did the unthinkable. He told the truth out loud. And just like that, the mask slipped off the party that claims to fight for working Americans while blocking their paychecks.
Appropriate, and I would remind, all of us, the Democrats, we wanted to nuke the entire filibuster. I'm referring to right now carving out this specific right now.
Just when everyone thought Fetterman had said enough, he dropped another bomb. He didn't just call out his party. He challenged the Senate itself. His message was blunt. If the filibuster keeps America hostage, then carve it out and kill it for good.
Now would make it almost impossible to shut our government down in the future, regardless if it's the Democrats or the Republicans doing these things. We should remove ourselves our power to shut this down in this way.
It was a direct shot at the political hypocrisy choking both sides. Fetterman reminded everyone that Democrats once wanted to nuke the filibuster when it suited them. Now they act like it's sacred. His argument wasn't partisan. It was practical. He said if this rule allows either party to shut down the government and wreck millions of lives, then it's not a check on power. It is the problem.
Remove ourselves our power to shut this down in this way.
And here's where it got uncomfortable for Schumer, because Fetterman wasn't proposing chaos. He was proposing accountability. We should remove our power to shut this government down in this way, he said, cutting through decades of excuses. That line hit harder than any political speech, because it exposed what the system's really built on. The power to stall, to punish, to play brinksmanship while Americans bleed. Fetterman's point was simple but devastating. The filibuster was designed to protect debate, not destroy stability. Now it's become a weapon, and if leaders won't reform it, they'll keep breaking the country just to win the next headline.
The party's going to go its own way, but I've been going my way. I'm going to fight for wins in Pennsylvania, and there's issues that I will agree and align with on the Republican side, specifically like Israel, and I celebrated those great people.
That's why his stand shook both parties, because he wasn't protecting Democrats or Republicans anymore. He was daring the Senate to stop hiding behind procedure and start acting like it works for the people again. Fetterman didn't care. He said his party could go its own way. He'd go his. He spoke for border security. He stood with Israel. He backed the Lincoln immigration bill. He didn't need permission from the DNC to think like an American.
Because I think that's what's appropriate right now. The direction where my party's going, I mean, won't see. But I can control my vote and my voice, and that's exactly where I am.
His tone wasn't careful. It was cutting, deliberate, grounded in what most voters already feel. Exhaustion with the slogans, the purity tests, the politics of theater. Fetterman threw all of that in the trash and talked like someone who still remembers what the government is supposed to do. He didn't redefine himself. He revealed himself. A senator saying the quiet part out loud. The party line isn't the country's line, and he's done pretending otherwise. The shutdown was already a circus. Weeks of speeches, finger-pointing, and empty votes. Nobody was solving anything. They were auditioning for headlines. Behind the noise, federal workers were panicking. Families were missing checks, and the country was running on fumes.
And if I become a problem for Democrats to being up 11 points, you know, like in a state as purple, as difficult as Pennsylvania is, it's like that's very strange. But I'm going to be honest, and I would say this to Democrats: I'll be an honest Democrat that's going to tell you what I think is fundamentally right in this circumstances. And now
His message cut through all the noise in D.C. You can't call yourself the party of the people while blocking their paychecks. Now everyone's asking the question Schumer hoped no one would say out loud. If one Democrat can flip the script completely, how long before Schumer's whole playbook falls apart?